What's up, Football Daily? Today we're constructing a team of our favourite signings of the season from across Europe. But do you agree with our choices? Get at us in the comments. Goalkeeper, Mike Maignan. There were a few candidates for our goalkeeper spot. José Sá has enjoyed a superb first campaign at Wolves, Alexander Nubel has impressed on loan at Monaco, while Matías de Toro and Luis Maximiano have had a big impact in the lower reaches of La Liga. But given that he's fighting for a second consecutive league crown following his €14.4 million move from Lille to Milan last summer, it's hard to look past Mike Maignan. With Gianluigi Donnarumma leaving for PSG, the French goalkeeper had big gloves to fill and instantly stepped up to the mark. Despite being subjected to racist abuse in one of his first Serie A appearances and injuring his left wrist soon after, an ordeal that kept him out for 6 weeks, the France international has quickly made himself at home in Milan, with his world-class displays between the sticks helping the Rossoneri mount their first serious title challenge in a decade. He's conceded just 21 goals all season so far, and the fact he's saved 6.8 post-shot expected goals, a figure only beaten by 3 other keepers in Europe, only solidifies his status as an elite shot stopper. He's also been superior to his predecessor in possession, kicking longer and more accurate passes to start the attack, and becoming the first Milan keeper since Díaz in 2006 to register an assist. And he's been more effective at commanding his area too, collecting a higher percentage of crosses than Donnarumma managed last term. An upgrade in every sense. Defender, Denzel Dumfries. An honourable mention must go to Hector Bellerin, whose performances for Real Betis this term have helped the club record what should be their best league finish since 2005, and win their first silverware since then too. But given his task of replacing Achraf Hakimi, Denzel Dumfries pips him to our right-back slot for his efforts. The Dutch wing-back has averaged a goal or an assist every 200 minutes this term, not too far off Hakimi's average of one every 177 minutes in his one campaign in Italy. Not bad at all given Dumfries cost a fifth of what Inter received for the Moroccan. Plus, he's actually been more effective in his overall attacking play, generating more expected goals and assists than Hakimi per game. This can partly be explained by the fact Inter play in a more ball-heavy style under Simone Inzaghi than they did under Conte. But even so, Dumfries has suited this system perfectly. Faced with the loss of one of Europe's elite wingbacks, the Nerazzurri employed a very able replacement at a fraction of the price. Defender, William Saliba. We're kicking off our centre-back pairing in France, where Marseille experienced a renaissance this term under Jorge Sampaoli, set for their biggest points tally since 2018. And while Sampaoli sides are usually characterised by blistering, unpredictable attacking play, his latest outfit are notable for how strong they are defensively. And a big factor in their increased solidity has been the loan signing of William Saliba. Marseille's excellent defensive record has sprung from their ability to control games, with only 5 other teams in Europe's top 5 leagues beating their 62% average possession. And Saliba has been vital in this regard. The Frenchman ranks in the top 3% of defenders for progressive carries, in the top 7% for progressive passes, and the fact he's moving the ball forward so much makes his 94% pass accuracy all the more impressive. He's been no slouch off the ball either, making over 4 tackles and interceptions per game. Sampaoli's top appearance maker this term, it's no surprise that Marseille are keen to make Saliba's move permanent, and having become such an integral part of the side, we can't see why the player wouldn't want the same. Defender, Marc Guehi. Before we go any further, honourable mentions to Fikayo Tomori, Josko Gvardiol and David Alaba, who didn't quite make the cut. Aside from perhaps Arsenal, Crystal Palace had the best summer transfer window of any Premier League club in 2021, and along with Michael Olise, Marc Guehi was their most astute permanent signing. Despite only turning 21 last summer, the Chelsea Academy graduate looked ready to enter a Premier League defence, having been a key player for Swansea in their failed promotion push last term. And he's quickly become a leader at Selhurst Park, playing more minutes than anyone else, scoring twice on their run to the FA Cup semi-finals, and even captaining the Eagles in a number of recent outings. He's also helped them evolve into a more modern-looking team under Patrick Vieira. Along with centre-back partner Joachim Andersen, Guehi is crucial to the side's ball progression, completing 3.4 passes into the final third per 90, a figure only bettered by 2 teammates and one that no Palace centre-half came close to matching last term. He's been dribbled past just once all season, pretty amazing given he's played in all but one Premier League fixture, and also blocks around a shot a match. With a player as dynamic as Guehi in the heart of defence, Palace have entered an exciting new era. Defender, David Raum. A name that few outside of Germany were familiar with when the season kicked off, David Raum arrived at Hoffenheim on a free last summer, after helping Greuther Fürth gain promotion to the Bundesliga for just the second time in their history. He'd enjoyed a superb campaign in the second tier, hitting 13 assists from left-back and going over 3 games without a goal involvement just once. And he's translated that form seamlessly into the top flight, with only Thomas Müller and Christopher Nkunku beating his 11 assists in the Bully. And it's no fluke either. He ranks 7th among all players in Europe's top 5 leagues for expected assists, ahead of the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Benzema, Kostic and Kane, with Trent the only fullback to beat him in this metric, while he also ranks in the top 1% of fullbacks for shot-creating actions. While he isn't a huge ball carrier, Raum's passing range has been crucial to the Hoffenheim attack this term, able to get to the byline and deliver a perfect cross, as well as link-up play around the penalty area. Now operating primarily as a wing-back, the 24-year-old is arguably the most important weapon in Sebastian Hoeneß's side, contributing to a goal every other game. Not bad at all for a free pickup. Midfielder Bruno Guimarães. While newly moneyed Newcastle made a number of significant signings in the January window in their bid to stay in the Premier League, there was no doubt that Bruno Guimarães was their biggest statement, a technically accomplished and defensively disciplined midfielder who had previously been linked with both Arsenal and Chelsea. And while he's yet to clock up 1,000 minutes of Premier League action, the £38 million man has had a significant impact on the Magpies season. In just 8 starts, Guimarães has scored 4 times and registered an assist from the centre of the park, having slotted seamlessly into a new-look midfield alongside a revitalised Joelinton. This included the winner in a crucial 2-1 away win over Southampton and a brace in a 2-1 victory over Leicester, and his productivity in the final third has been backed up by excellent work in build-up. The Brazilian ranks high in all the key passing metrics, while no Magpies player passes into the penalty area more often than him. And crucially, he's also been a rock, leading the squad for tackles and interceptions with 5.9 per 90. Doomed to relegation just a few months ago, Newcastle are now hopeful of a top half finish and will be aiming for European qualification next season. Bruno Guimarães is partly to thank for that. Midfielder Hakan Çalhanoğlu. A move derided by many Serie A fans, mainly due to his inconsistent displays in his final season at Milan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu's switch to rivals Inter on a free went much better than almost anyone could have imagined. 11 months on and the Turkish playmaker has registered 18 goals and assists in the league, something he's managed just once before in his top-flight career, at a rate of a goal contribution every 131 minutes. On the face of it, not that much has changed. A high proportion of his chance creation still comes from set pieces, while his expected goals and assists have stayed around the same rate. But his overall game has improved in Simone Inzaghi's possession-based system. He's passing more often and with greater range and accuracy than he ever did at Milan, no doubt helped by the fact he's now alongside the superb Barella and Brozovic, while he's also developed a great understanding with Edin Dzeko, another great pickup. As a result, a club which some tipped to struggle to even make the top 4 following an exodus of talent in the summer have produced the best attack in Italy. Midfielder Martin Ødegaard. When Arsenal signed Martin Ødegaard for £30 million last summer, many thought the Gunners could have done better, and almost no one could have predicted he'd be wearing the captain's armband by the end of the season. But having made himself the fulcrum of Mikel Arteta's attack, he is now one of the most respected members of the Arsenal dressing room, and a front-runner for the club captaincy. Ødegaard has quickly become one of the Premier League's very best creative midfielders, leading the Gunners squad for key passes, passes into the penalty area, and progressive passes, while only Bukayo Saka marginally beats him for expected assists. But his technical prowess is matched by consistency and a strong work ethic. Only bit part player Eddie Nketiah presses more often than him. Already very mature at 23, the former Real Madrid man has finally found a happy, permanent home. Arsenal, meanwhile, may have finally found a natural leader who isn't cursed, and they could yet be rewarded for their faith with a first Champions League spot in 6 years. Forward, Luis Diaz. Liverpool have a solid track record of getting big signings to hit the ground running, and Luis Diaz is no exception, following in the vein of Mane, Salah, Van Dijk and Alisson in having an instant impact at Anfield. The Colombian winger's blend of space, strength and composure in the box has proved a nightmare for defences in the Premier League and Champions League since his move from Porto in January, and has helped solidify the status of the Reds' forward line as the best in world football. With 5 top-class attackers to choose from, Jurgen Klopp has been able to rotate with ease as he looks to do the seemingly impossible and win the quadruple. Without Diaz, he may not have been able to guide Liverpool to 3 finals. Taking 5 shots and completing 4 dribbles a match in the UCL knockout stages is seriously impressive for a player who's only just entered the team. and he's already beginning to garner the kind of universal adoration enjoyed by Mane and Salah. If he can have even half the impact those two have had on Merseyside, then he will have proved an incredibly good piece of business at £40 million. Forward, Tammy Abraham. We only have one striker spot, and so we must give honourable mentions to Gaëtan Laborde at Rennes, Giovanni Simeone at Hellas Verona, and Edin Dzeko at Inter. But arguably no striker has had as big an impact as Tammy Abraham has at Roma. Coming off a season in which he was largely overlooked at Chelsea, the Englishman dusted himself off and adapted quickly to life in Italy. Despite hitting just 2 goals in his first 11 Serie A games, it was already clear he'd given Jose Mourinho his much-needed focal point up top, with Roma ranking among the division's top sides for expected goals in the early months of the campaign. And Tammy has run hot ever since, with 25 goals in all competitions at the time of writing. By the end of the season, he could have topped his personal best of 26, achieved with Bristol City and Villa in the Championship. And the underlying numbers suggest the best is yet to come. The 24-year-old ranks first in Serie A for non-penalty expected goals, despite taking fewer than 3 shots a match. Not only is he a nuisance in the box, but he's becoming a more efficient striker too. Keep hold of him, and the Giallorossi have a genuine chance of making the Champions League next term. Forward, Arnaut Danjuma. Splashing £21 million on a player from the Championship is a bold move, especially for a club in La Liga, where spending has been particularly low since 2020. But while many doubted the logic of Villarreal's move for Arnaut Danjuma, it has paid off handsomely. The former Bournemouth forward has been a revelation in Spain, hitting 10 goals in La Liga and a further 6 in the Champions League, scoring or assisting every 120 minutes across the 2 competitions, with Karim Benzema the only player in Spain to beat his 0.9 expected goals and assists per 90. And he's risen to the big occasions, with his brace against Atalanta earning the Yellow Submarine qualification to the UCL knockouts, and superb performances against Juventus and Bayern, seeing Unai Emery's side make the most unlikely of journeys to the semi-finals. A nightmare to play against on both the wing and at centre forward, Danjuma has been a near-perfect addition to Emery's attack. After Real and Barca, Villarreal comfortably ranked 3rd in La Liga for expected goals, and while this hasn't translated to a very good position in the table overall, fans can be hopeful of better things next season. If they can keep hold of Danjuma, then 22-23 could be very fruitful. So those are our 11 signings of the season, but who would you have included? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you'll never miss an upload. We'll see you next time.